Hello, welcome to Sakitissimo. I'm Andy and today I want to do a color along in this amazing coloring book with postcards from Emelie Lidehall Öberg. It's the Christmas coloring postcards and I picked this page. If you want to see a flip through of this amazing book, but also this one and the other books that I have from Emelie Lidehall Öberg, you can watch this video that I will link up here. But other than that, let's dive into this coloring. I will put, although the paper is so thick here, it's pure cardstock, I will put a double sheet of paper here just in case. I don't want to ruin the next page. And I'm gonna use hoo-hoo markers, alcohol markers, and maybe some polychromos on top. We'll see at the end if we need some texture or some details. And let's see, I do want to do a nighttime page in this one just because we have lights and I want to accentuate the lights. So I will start with the wood here and I'm gonna use YR9 for the wood. And I do want to use the brush tip. And I'm gonna do all the wood except for the ladder here. It's turning up a bit lighter than I wanted. But maybe we can use a darker one over it just for some texture or some shading. I did wanted to use acrylic markers on the postcards, but acrylic markers are very opaque and I would have to be careful not to cover the black lines, and I might as well just use the alcohol markers because the paper is great. It's a smooth paper and I think it's going faster this way. And I'm getting the same pigment opacity that I was looking for in this book. But maybe I will also use some acrylic gel pens like the ones from Lango just to cover up some lines and maybe add some texture. We'll see at the end. I think I want this wood to be a bit darker just because I want it to fit in the night time. And I don't know if I will also do a background, a night background in here. Maybe I'll do like a frame and then add the background because I don't wanna... I do want the white border in here, but we'll see, we'll see. Okay, let's start on this part. Yeah, I do think we'll need some texture here for the wood, but we will do that later. Maybe I'll also do some white, like a snow everywhere, because we do have snow here, here, and here, and down. And I think it would look great if we will do a snow effect on the whole page and also add some snowy parts here and there, just to accentuate that frosting effect and the fact that it's snowing on the page. We have a window here. I want the windows with another brown. Okay. Okay, let's also do this fence here with the same brown, just for the page to look cohesive on the brown side. Okay, now let's take a darker brown. I'll take YR10 and I'm gonna do, should I do the inside of this one? But yeah, I'll do the inside of this window here. Let's also do this one in here and the margin. Okay, let's pick a gray. I'll pick CG5, which is the cool gray 5, and I want to do these lines here, like the wood is united by a metal thingy. I think it looks very realistic. And here as well. Let's also do this part. And I'm gonna use the YR10 to do the margin of this window here on the door. And I'll take a darker Y13, which is chestnut brown, And I'm gonna do the inside of the windows. I'm not gonna do a light inside of this tree or the mushrooms, just because I want a single light source of the page to be these Christmas lights and this light. Okay. Let's see another brown for us to do these here window thingies and the ladder. And let's see what brown we can use. I do want a darker brown. Let's do BR1. I'm looking at my swatch chart here. So BR1 is raw umber. I think it's different enough, so it's okay. Okay, let's also do the ladder. We do have a lot of brown here, but it will look better after I add some texture to it. Currently I'm just block coloring as a base for everything. And I think we're done with the brown, almost. Let's also do this one here and here. Okay. Okay, let's do the mushrooms, the base of the mushrooms. Let's see what color we can do them. Should we do them like grayish red? I think that will work, like E380, which is ash rose. And let's start with this tiny one. Okay. And this one here, but I will also do the attic. Is it? And this color works great for the mushrooms. Okay, should we also do the door? No, I think I want the door to be brown. Let's do the same raw umber for the door. I don't have a dog, if you're wondering, it's the neighbors. And here we're gonna have a Christmas wreath that will be green. Let's pick up a green and to do these leaves and the Christmas trees here and the Christmas wreath here. And I think I'll pick a darker green like GY43. And I'll do the leaves here. Yeah, I like this green. It's very intense and it's working great with brown colors that I've picked. Okay, let's move on the other side. I'm not worrying about light sources so far because I'm gonna do that in pencil. So now I'm just color blocking the elements and I'm gonna worry about light source and shadows when I'll add the pencil on top. And for now I'm just block coloring. Let's also do this wreath here. And the trees. And I can also do some decorations on these trees here with acrylic gel pens. Okay, and I think I'll also do on the scarf of the mouse some green. Okay, and I think that's all the green. Let's do the inside of the mushroom here underneath, and I think I'll do a R27, which is pale mauve. Because I'm gonna do the mushrooms in red. Okay, and here in this part. I love how it's looking very foresty, Scandinavian. Also in the design, but also in the colors I picked. Okay. I would like to do this lamp a very dark color, so I'm gonna use warm gray 9. Okay, let's do the mushrooms, and I do want them an intense red, and I'll pick R2, which is vermilion. I think I want a darker one. Let's try coral red. I want it a bit cooler, but also a bit darker. This is indeed 4. Let's try 4. R4 is deep red. Let's see this one. I want it to be just a little bit darker and a bit cooler, not so warm. Yeah, this is okay. Sometimes I don't distinguish the colors from the swatch chart just because there are a lot of colors that are very similar to each other, and when you see them next to each other they seem pretty well the same color. See here. But yeah, this one fits better my color palette. One of my cats is snoring next to me. I don't know if you can hear her. Okay, let's also do here like a candy cane frame of the door. And I do want to add some red to the mouse as well. and we have one little mushroom left. Okay, now let's do the dots on the mushroom. I don't know what color, or should I leave them the same? I think I'm gonna do a red gray. Red gray 030. And I will also, should I do like this, an outline with white at the top? Yeah, I'm gonna do like this. And leave them white, and I'll also outline the upper part. But we still have some elements here on the lamp post here. Let's do them this warm gray, the same warm gray 9. Okay, let's do the mouse. What color should we do him? Let's do him R26, which is honey. And he has a cupcake there. Let's also do that one with honey and with another brown. And let's pick a pink to do his ears. Let's pick R21 or 20. Let's pick 20. And we'll do his ears here and the nose. And let's pick something for his blouse. Let's pick the same green as the one we used already, which is deep olive green, GY43. Okay, let's use the same warm gray 9 for these light bulbs here, and the rest we'll do in a dark, or in a light yellow. Like, let's do a combination between Y121 and 030, so lemon chiffon and primrose. And I'm gonna do like this with the lemon chiffon, don't know how to say that, like this. And with the other one, with Y121, I'm gonna do the rest here. And I'm gonna also outline, I do want a little bit more yellow. Let's try with where is it? Y1. Let's try with Y1, just like teeny bit here. Okay. And I think we're done with the markers. Oh no, I still have a little bit of to do here in the back. Okay, let me grab my polychromos and then we're gonna shade a bit on the elements. I grabbed my polys, but then I thought that I do want a background with this one, and I'm gonna do with PB4 Napoleon blue, but I do also want a frame, so I grabbed some washi tape. And I'm just gonna frame the image for the background. Just so we can have a crisp line. I could have done a watercolor on the background, but I'm too lazy for that. So I'm just gonna do a marker because it's not such a big background here. And I do wanna also outline where I think we can stop here with the background, because we're gonna do it like this. And here I'm gonna add some shading to the snow. So okay, let's go in with the Napoleon blue. And I don't know if this frame is too thick, but I feel like it's gonna work because the leaves are gonna look like they're going outside the frame, and I think that's a cool effect. And I do want the scenery to be night, like a night time, because I also want to do some snowflakes and I want them to be visible in the background. And I will do the shadow in the snow with blue. So this blue background is helping that as well. Okay, I think we can remove the washi tape. And we didn't get such a crisp line that I was hoping to get. Maybe we can do like a golden border, just to get that crisp line. And let's do this inside part. I don't like this. Okay, it's okay. Okay, and I forgot about this lamp post, so we need to do that as well. We're gonna do it with pastel yellow for the light here, and I think I'm also gonna do these ones because I don't really like how they're looking. Much better. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the polychromos, but I don't know how this frame is looking. Should I add like a golden frame? We'll see after we add the shadows with polychromos. Let's see here. Let's start with the leaves. I do want to lighten up a bit the leaves. Let me sharpen my grass green. I want just a little bit on the middle here. I need a lighter green. Will this one work? It's not really visible. Just a tiny bit for some texture. But I can do that with acrylics. Maybe I can just darken them up with some pine green here. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Yep. Just gonna darken here just a little bit. Just on one side. Okay, let's also add some shading to the mouse's sweater here. And to this reef, just some lines here and there, because we're also gonna add some acrylic. Okay, and to the trees I'm not adding much, just some texture here and there, because again I want to add more texture with acrylic markers. Okay, let's do some texture on this wood. And I'm gonna use Caput Mortuum. And I'm gonna add some shadow here. And for this texture, wouldn't it be better to use acrylic markers for the lines. Let's add some shadows on these branches. I'm not gonna focus on the texture now with the pencil. I'm just gonna focus on adding some shadows, just a bit, and I'll do the texture with acrylic markers because it will just be faster that way. Okay, do we have more shadows here underneath as well? And more here. Should I also use this one for the mushrooms? I think it will fit, yeah, under the snow here. And this would be great also under these dots. Add some shading here as well. Okay, and on this mushroom as well. I think I'm gonna use this color for the inside of the mushroom as well, this under part here. Okay. Let's see here as well under the mushroom. Adding some texture here just a bit. And let's do the other mushroom. And some texture on this one as well, just some lines. Okay, now let's pick a darker brown, like this burnt umber, sharpen it a bit. And let's shade this leather here. Okay, and now I just want to pick this beige red and just highlight a bit. Okay, now I want to pick this pink, the cinnamon, just to add some shading to the ears and the nose here, and some texture on the hands as well, and this cupcake with the beige red. Okay, let's shade with this cinnamon also the base of the mushrooms, just a tiny bit, like a shadow underneath here and a shadow on this side. Okay, let's do also on this side when we're stopping around here, because we have the light source, and I'll also add some yellow. Okay, and for this one on this side, Okay, let me put these ones back. And oh, let me grab the same brown, the burnt umber, and we're gonna shade these things, wooden window panels. And just adding some texture there. Also adding some shading a bit to these parts. And here as well. And on this side. Okay, and to this door here, I forgot about this door. Okay. Let's take the beige red again, just to add some texture here, some highlights. And here as well on this side. Okay. Let's pick this ivory. And add some lines on this wood here to bring back some texture. I said I'm gonna do it with some acrylic gel pens, but these panels are quite tiny, so that's why I'm doing them with a pencil. And I'm gonna use that just to highlight this wood as well. And here and here. I didn't add shading to this part. I'm taking the cinnamon again and adding some shading to this one. Okay, and I think I'm also using this one, the cinnamon, for the bunny, because he's quite pinkish. Just to shade him a little bit. Okay, taking the ivory again to add texture to these panels here. And I'm going with a few lines, then rotating the pencil so I can constantly have a sharp point for these small lines. And I also want to use these ones to add some texture under these mushrooms. And I'm not going in the same direction, I'm going like this, if you can see, and it maintains a random texture, so it's not that symmetrical. Let's also add some shading with this burnt umber and this fence here. And adding some shading from the lower part. Simple wood texture, also giving some lines from the upper part. Random, because I'm also going in with the ivory with some random lines. And I'm also gonna add some yellow to highlight the lights. Let me add some gray, cold gray 4 to this candy cane here, just to make it more 3D because it was too white. Okay, and now let's shade the snow. I want to shade the snow with Indanthrene Blue 247, and let's do, I'm using the softest pressure I can because it's a really dark blue, but I do like the color of it. And I am gonna blend it into a lighter blue or a gray maybe. And I think this blue is really working out with the background that I used. I just need to use very light pressure. Okay, and on this side as well. I can also go over the lines with some white. Don't know if I will do that, we'll see at the end. Okay, let's pick up a brighter blue. Let's pick sky blue, and we're gonna blend that darker blue into this sky blue, and then maybe we're gonna take a very light cold gray to blend this blue into white, or maybe we can leave it like this. I think it's looking okay. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we also need to do the snow on the mushrooms in the same manner. I think this tree also needs some brown shadow here and there because it's looking quite pale. And here I used another color for the shadows. I think I used Caput Mortum, but I'm gonna go over them with this burnt umber just a bit to accentuate the shadows. And for the texture, I'll rely on my Langu acrylic markers. Okay, let's continue with the snow here. I'm doing with sky blue, blending that darker blue into white. Maybe adding this blue just a bit in the corners and blending it in. Okay, I do want that dark blue back, the 247 blue, and I'm just, let me sharpen it, and I'm gonna make the edges more crisp because I don't like them, just a tiny bit. Should I use a ruler? Let's use a ruler. Much better. Okay, let's also do this upper part here. Okay. Great. Now let's add some shading to the snow on the items here and there, just a tiny bit. Not going too precise because we are going to use the lighter blue to blend it in. And we also have this one up here. Okay. I do want some more blue here on the top. Just a bit. Okay, and now let's add some yellow highlights from the light sources. Let me just put back these pencils. And let's take some yellows like this light cadmium yellow, just to add some light around the light sources and also where the lights would hit, like on this tree here. And here on this tree trunk and on some leaves. Maybe taking a lighter yellow will help, light yellow glaze. Let's see, oh, this one is much more pigmented. This will do better on giving highlights. Okay. 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 I think we're done and we can start using the acrylic gel pens. Let me put this brown back. Okay, and take out the acrylic gel pens. I keep them in two baskets like this, where I also have my swatch cards for them. And let me see, first of all, I do want to outline the Christmas lights, so I'm gonna use this color from the set, reddish yellow. And it's this one, and I'll also use this one to highlight stuff. And also cover this black lines a bit. I'm not being too precise with the outline because I do want this glow effect. If you do want more coverage, you can use the Guangna acrylic markers like these ones. These are great for detailing because they are not so opaque and they are very thin, so you can use them for a lot of detailing. And I do wanna add some more details to these leaves here with this yellow, because I'm also highlighting but also giving texture to these leaves, so it's 2 in 1. Okay, you can also add some light to the mouse here, add some texture to his blouse as well. To this Christmas wreath, we're gonna also add some darker lines on this one, and as well for this Christmas tree here. Okay, from the same set I'm gonna take this color, which is this one right here, and I think this will help us with some texture on the branches, just a little bit, not too much because we already have shadows. I just wanted to add some extra texture here and there. Okay, can we do anything else with this one? Okay, let's take a set with the darker green. Let's take this one here from Sage Green set. And let's do some texture on this wreath here. And on the Christmas trees. And I also want to add some Christmas lights to these ones. Maybe some ornaments, some small ones. Okay, finished with the texture. Let's take some Guangna acrylic markers because I do wanna do some Christmas lights on these trees here. So I'm gonna take this color Y02 and I'm gonna do some Christmas lights like this. And I also want to do some red dots, and I also want to do them in this wreath here. Just for the page to be more festive. And I did touch this part with the light, so I wanna go again. Okay, and I just wanna go over this part so I can cover the black lines inside the lights. And I think we're done. No, we're not done because I do wanna also cover the black lines of the snow. I think we can remove this one and we're fine with the bleeding through the page. Let's reactivate the Posca. Okay. And I don't want to cover the black lines from the snow. And I also want to add some more snowflakes and some snow effect, which I'm gonna show you in a moment how I do it, because it's super simple. I'm just gonna cover the black lines on top of the snow, not on the lower part. And on these dots where I just added some pigment that I no longer want. let's add some white in the reef and on top of the snow here. And I also want to cover these lines. Okay, and now I also want to add some snow effect, but I also want some tiny little stars here and there. I think the secret to the stars or the snow is to have different dimensions, so it doesn't look so forced and so symmetrical. Also want to cover these black bits. And I want to do some tiny snow bits on some parts of the fence here, but also on this ladder. Here at the window. Random parts. I just want to be more snow here and there. Maybe on the branches. Here at the door. Here on this margin. On the trees a bit. And on some branches here. Okay, and let me also add some white around these lights and inside them. And now let's make a snow effect. And how I make the snow effect, I make the Posca to be juicy. Like I shake it and then I activate it, and then I'm gonna blow exactly on top, and I'm gonna do it on the page. I don't know if I can do this with you seeing this, but I'm gonna try. Let's see. You see? So I just blew on the Posca right here at a small distance, and where I wanted the snow to be. I want more snow on this lower part here. If you want to be more precise, you can cover the parts where you don't want snow, but I didn't cover because I want it to be snowing everywhere. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more where I feel the need to add more. And I feel like this looks a bit more natural than adding the same dimension of dots everywhere. And I'm just gonna add more where I feel like the snow isn't blended as I wanted it to be. And I'm just gonna blend it in more here and there. And I think our page is done. So we have a completed page in this wonderful book in Christmas Coloring Postcards by Emelie Lidehall Öberg. I'm gonna link the items in the description where you can purchase them. And this is an amazing book. You have a lot of opportunities to exercise with a lot of mediums, not only with alcohol markers and polychromos as I did, because you can see that even any medium that you use, if you use acrylic markers on top, you can do anything you want. So this was my completed page in this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments if you want to see another page colored in this book or in any other book. Other than that, thank you for joining me. I'll leave the links in the descriptions to the items that I've used in this video. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications if you want to hear from me when I post. See ya. Take care. Bye.